Hey, what's going on? This is Aaron Godwin, the Engineer of Wealth, and I just wanted to jump on here and talk about an article that I was reading today. Um, it came from Kiplingers Financial Journal, and so from that, had a great article that was talking about, of all things, whole life insurance. If anybody's followed this channel for any period of time, you know that I am a huge proponent of whole life insurance, especially as a place to store cash so that you can sow cash, right? So instead of worrying always about, hey, what is trying to maximize my rates of return, trying to chase the latest hot stocks, instead of all that, instead of doing all that, what if we invested in our number one investment, which is ourselves and our businesses, right? Because as many entrepreneurs know, instead of chasing an 8% rate of return on the stock market with the risk of losing up to 50%, if instead of putting all that money there, if you put it into yourself, you can have a much higher rate of return. So that was just a great article, and I want to just talk about one of the biggest things that this article talked about, and it was just a comparison of a couple different products. So let me one second, I apologize. All right, I want to make sure that I was on the right screen and everything was tied up properly. So this article, whenever we talk about whole life insurance, we're not trying to talk about whole life insurance versus stocks. We're not trying to talk about it versus the stock market. That is a common comparison, but it's actually very not accurate, right? It's just not accurate because whole life insurance is a different kind of product. It is more along the lines of your savings account. It's more along the lines of a CD. It's more along the lines of a deposit account that you may have. So they wanted to do that comparison, and I want to do that same comparison and just show some of the benefits here, right? So we're going to talk about whole life, and I bet I just wrote that too high. Let me check and make sure that we are on the screen. All right, we are going to talk about whole life. We are going to talk about a fixed interest rate, right? Fixed income. This can be fixed income annuities, can be different types of fixed income products, and we can talk about deposit accounts, right? Fixed income can also be some of the CDs that are out there. So this author went through the same stages that I did. Whenever they were first approached about dividend-paying whole life, they just kind of brushed it off. Like, this is not something for me. I am not sure if this is true. And they completely brushed it off. As this author started to study into it, started to see the benefits of it, he came to his own conclusions from it. One of the first things that they talk about is consistent growth. So consistent growth is going to be with several of these products, right? If we're looking at whole life, right? Whole life has consistent growth. If you're looking at some kind of fixed income stream, that's going to have consistent growth. If you're just putting that, banks are paying 0.001, right? If you're just looking into some kind of deposit account, you're not really getting any type of growth from that. Right. The second thing he talked about was no market risk. Right? No market risk. Whenever we talk about, things having no market risk, it has to be not connected to the stock market. Right? Whole life, not connected to the stock market. Whenever we talk about some of these bonds, if we talk about any of these structures like that are fixed income, they are going to be connected to the market. And then your bank account, right? Your deposit account is not going to be connected to the market, and so that will have no market risk. The next piece is tax-free access. What this means is that you are able to take money out from or to use money and have access to money, tax-free access, without having to pay additional taxes on it, right? Fixed income can't do that. Even your bank account, you are not getting tax-free access to that. Another thing that comes up is access to cash. Right? This is one of the biggest drawbacks of some of these bonds, of some of these annuities. Your cash is locked up and you're not going to have access to cash whole life. You have access to cash. If you're putting money into a deposit, you also will have access to cash. I just thought this was a really great article that they put together. Kiplingers is not known to put a lot of whole life insurance articles on their website. So for them to put something that is so fairly compared and not trying to compare it versus any type of investment type of accounts was just a really great article. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. I am Aaron. I am the Engineer of Wealth, and I thank you, and I look forward to talking to you and answering any questions that you may have at any time. Thanks. Bye.